I just got the Zoom credentials from WinMe to go live. Okay,
Great. You have to press record as well.
I suppose. Let me see if we are live. Uh, I can check probably and hmm, we should be live. Let me check on my phone just to make sure. I don't know. There's an option on Zoom that you can select that says, oh, we are streaming, I guess.
Yeah, it shows your screen.
Yep, yep. But I don't see it. Oh, we're good. Perfect. Nice. Okay. Okay, really. Okay. Thank you, Mohammed, for being here. So
You
this is
have to press record as well. I just want to make sure you know.
no, that's what confused me. There is no record button or anything. You just go live and that's it.
Okay, sure.
It's connected to Restream and then from Restream to LinkedIn and Zoom. So it's happening on two places, to LinkedIn and YouTube. Um,
So,
okay, perfect. So this is our weekly podcast called Techies 15 Live. So every week we have guests from different industries who are somehow involved in tech, and our audience are immigrants in tech, as you know. And this week's cool guest is Mohammad Keyhani, Dr. Keyhani, and I'm so happy to host this session because like Mohammad is all about AI, no code, and new interesting stuff that's happening in the tech world. I'll let Dr. Keyhani introduce himself, and then I'll continue with my questions. Please go ahead, Doctor.
thank you. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a tech enthusiast. I tend to get distracted with the next shiny thing that comes around.
Hmm.
So, my name is Mohammad Keyhani. I'm an associate professor of entrepreneurship and innovation at the Haskayne School of Business, University of Calgary. These days, I teach a course called Generative AI and Prompting. I started teaching it relatively early and have developed a good curriculum around it. And I do a lot of building with AI myself. Previously, mostly no code, but recently with AI coding capabilities, I mostly do AI coding or vibe coding, as some people call it. Um, and I also I'm a co-founder of a startup building AI tools for schools called Honeybee Logic.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's a short description of me. What would you like to get into next?
Well, perfect. Thank you. Yes. I'm so happy that like my current role that I haven't posted on LinkedIn yet. So I'm also involved with research, and I'm these days I'm working on AI and artificial intelligence and the ways that you can incorporate it in your software, and like it's just limitless. Like there are lots of possibilities that you can leverage nowadays, and every day is specifically the LLMs are improving day by day. And so like just going over your LinkedIn profile, I see in entrepreneurship, I see you talking about the strategy. I see you talk about product hunt, which is something I'm obsessed with these recent days. And I see that you have already you have articles and some publications. So I was just going over the publications. I'm just gonna start with the open access that you have on strategic organization,
Yeah,
if that's okay with you. So
yeah, that's an academic paper titled "The Logic of Strategic Entrepreneurship." Um,
mhm,
in my academic work, I did some modeling of entrepreneurship in an economy. During my PhD, it turned out that a lot of economic models didn't properly account for entrepreneurship. So I tried to incorporate that in some simulation models. And since the theories of strategic management and strategy are also based on economic models, when you try to incorporate entrepreneurship in there, you get some insight into what it means to add entrepreneurship to theories of strategy. So theories of strategy are often strength based. They say like do something based on your strengths, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what the resource based view or the dynamic capabilities view suggests in strategy. Um, and an entrepreneurial approach to strategy would say that, sometimes it might be better to build new strengths. If you're only thinking about using your current strengths, you might be limiting yourself too much. So I think there's a sentence I put in that paper called the sentence says
May I
entrepreneurship. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
quote a sentence that is like very interesting for me? Let me know if this is the sentence you're looking for. Uh, Entrepreneurship is blind without a strategy, and a strategy is paralyzed without entrepreneurship.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I was trying to say in terms of integrating these two views. Strategy, traditional strategy theories help you see the constraints
Mm-hmm.
around you. But if you only stick with those theories, you might be paralyzed in a sense that you might be limiting yourself too much in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the actions that you could take. Anyways, that's sort of my research work and theory work, and I try to implement that in my life as well. I
Mm-hmm.
try to have an entrepreneurial approach to making strategic decisions in my own life often, or a strategic entrepreneurial approach in a way that
Yeah, well, like Dr. Keyhani, I'm gonna say like
strategy and
same
entrepreneur.
here, same me. So I do the same thing. Like I studied product management with Krista Hill, like with Tacit Edge, and she taught me that the two main pillars of product management is vision and strategy. So like I was going through your article, and the same I apply the same rules to my life, like to my everyday life. Like I should have a vision, like a big picture, and then the strategy on how to do things, right? So I was going through your article, and so I was wondering. So you have the entrepreneurship and strategy, and I'm constantly thinking vision and strategy. So like in my mind, like the vision sits with the entrepreneurship part. But
You
so
could you could call it the vision. It could be maybe analogous to vision. But an interesting thing in entrepreneurship is sometimes it's just impossible to know what's going to happen.
Mhm,
Um, and so there's something we call the learning value of action.
mhm,
Until you take action, you don't know a lot of things. And
mhm,
if you try to overthink things and over plan for things without taking action, you might not get anywhere. You might just get stuck in this loop of just overthinking, not knowing enough, and then being paralyzed to take action.
mhm,
But entrepreneurship sometimes is, just go and do it. Just go and do it, and you'll learn something new, and you'll learn new things that you wouldn't otherwise learn.
mhm,
So I'm not saying don't have a vision, but I'm
mhm,
saying don't overthink it. Sometimes entrepreneurship is about just doing something to see what you can learn.
mhm,
And especially if doing that thing is not very costly. Recently, with all the advances that have happened in technology,
mhm,
AI coding, no code, etc., there's been sort of a democratization of entrepreneurship in the sense that many of us can now experiment with entrepreneurial projects at a very
mhm.
low cost.
Yeah.
Things that would cost many thousands of dollars to do 10 years ago are very cheap to do now.
Mhm,
So you can just do it and see what happens. And that sometimes that's a more effective strategy than trying to overplan, overthink, write long business plans and business model canvas, etc. Those are good. We teach those in our classes, but sometimes it's more efficient to just go out and do things, and
mhm,
that's a sort of a new approach to entrepreneurship.
mhm,
I think uh, there's this discussion happening that many jobs are going to go away because of AI, right? And I think the converse trend to that is that many people are going to become entrepreneurs. Um, there will be less and less people willing to pay you to do things because they can pay their AI agents much cheaper. But you will have more and more opportunities to do things for yourself, and you decide what to do and how to
Mhm.
create value. And you'll have your own AI agents that you can hire. So many people, I think, will become entrepreneurs and will eventually have much more entrepreneurship in society
Mhm.
and probably much less jobs in society.
Mhm. So yeah, like the vibe coding, solo entrepreneurship, I we have seen like recently we have seen more of them like happening like solo entrepreneurs starting companies after a year, 2 year, they are reaching millions of dollars of worth, and like they exit after 2 years with millions of dollars, and this is all thanks to the advancement in, I guess,
Yeah.
AI world, right?
Sometimes they exit, sometimes they don't. The poster child for this is Pieter Levels. I don't know if you've read his book, The Make Book. He's he's the poster child of indie entrepreneurship, solopreneurship
Mm-hmm.
on the internet. But there are many people like him that they just do lots of small projects,
Mm-hmm.
typically quick to jump on new opportunities, new AI capabilities, and build something really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and typically they have very small teams or they don't hire anyone and
Yeah,
just do things
exactly.
themselves.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
It's a new kind of entrepreneurship. There's a whole community called the Small Bets community. If you search it and find it on the internet, led by Daniel Vassallo, the Small Bets community is an example of people who pursue this kind of entrepreneurship. Small, faster projects, cheaper
Mm-hmm.
projects,
Mm-hmm.
more numerous projects. This is something that we've been studying in our research as well on entrepreneurial experimentation.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons that it makes sense to do more projects, smaller projects, is because the unpredictable distribution of outcomes. It's just many projects fail, but there's also many outlier projects that succeed, and it's very hard to tell which one is going to succeed and which one's not going to succeed. So in these cases, if the cost of experimentation is low, it makes sense to experiment with a lot of different projects.
Okay. Even in your paper, that's where the entrepreneurship comes to help the strategy, right? Like for example, you talk about advantages and edges, right? Like for example, you argue that advantage can exist even when there is this equilibrium, right?
Mhm.
But like when I was reading that article, I was wondering like when as an entrepreneur, as a founder, you keep going, fighting for that edge, for that advantage, um, even if there is this equilibrium. Like when do you step away from something like entrepreneurship wise, or and when do you like keep going? Like how the belief in
Yeah,
yourself, is it like what is it? Do you see the market? Do you believe in yourself? Like while others are saying, oh, this is
yeah,
not going to work.
yeah. Often, I think in the early stages of entrepreneurship, you don't really need to think in terms of theories of advantage. Advantage is a very much a strategy concept, and is more about like describing when one competitor has an advantage over other competitors.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurs often they operate in environments where it's not so much the competition that is causing trouble for them or is their main bottleneck. It's more about just doing things, launching something, seeing if customers actually like it, are willing to pay for it. Competition is not so much a huge worry for many of these early stage entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't really think in terms of advantage that much in those early stages.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, things that you could think of advantage is like why should I do this project? If there's multiple projects that you could do, think to yourself like why should I do this project? How much of a chance do I have with this? Can
Mm-hmm.
I move fast enough? Do I have the right team? Do I have the right expertise? Um, these are things that will give you advantage to do that thing or that project more effectively.
Mhm.
depending on who you're competing with. So, for example, suppose you're trying to just create a good audience on social media, a good organic audience, build audience. That's one of the important things that entrepreneurs often need to do. Or maybe that's your entire entrepreneurship project is just to make money from social media, become an influencer.
Mhm.
In those cases, you are operating in a very crowded environment. Everybody is trying to get attention, everybody's trying to get followers. So
Mhm.
you do have to worry about competition because everybody's competing for people's attention. So you have to think yourself, what type of content can I produce that is really different, that I would have an advantage in, that I could really add value? Then you look at your own life, your own expertise, what's around you. Like, do you have access to something? Do you know more about something
Mhm.
that you could compete with? So that's an example of thinking in terms of advantage, in terms of
Mhm.
resources in entrepreneurial strategy.
Mhm.
But often you don't really have to think of that much. It's just about who does it faster and better and who
Mhm.
puts in more work and who does the hustle
Mhm.
um, in those early stages.
Mhm. Yeah, like I always tell to my friends, like the first rule of doing business, starting a startup, like being an entrepreneur, is just showing up. If you show
Yeah,
up, if you just show up every day, that's it. That's the only thing that you need to do. And so I don't want to go over the time that I promised you. I'm not gonna take much of your time. You're already 3 minutes over the time, but um, I have read all some of your writings. I'm gonna share the link to your blog and the page that you have that's on DigitWipe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Digitvibe.com is my blog.
Yeah, so people can have access to our audience will might be interested in reading. There are articles about generative AI, machine organization. There is a course at University of Calgary that Dr. Keyhani was talking about generative AI and prompting, and like taking responsibility when you're using AI to write stuff, which is, I guess, the main usage of LLMs these days. So
Yeah.
I had questions about this stuff, but no time. I guess maybe in future.
Yeah, I should write more on my blog and maybe I'll write about recent AI coding projects that I've been doing,
Mhm.
products that I've been building.
Mhm.
One thing I've built recently is lister.cc, lstr.cc. I also built sitefix.com, CITEFIX.com to help you fix your um, deep research reports you get with AI, help fix the citations in them.
Mhm.
And I'm also building another document checking tool recently. Excited about these projects, but I always have to weigh, do I have time to sit down and write a blog post about it, or do I go build more? Like,
Mhm.
and these days building is so much fun that I find I don't have enough time to sit down and write, but I should do more of that.
At least leave a note on the website that you're building this, and then to be continued in writing.
Yeah.
Sure. So thank you for your time, Dr. Kehani. Thank you for your time, and hopefully we get to see each other another time, and we can talk more about those topics and get more updates from you.
Thank you for having me on here. Good
Of
to
course.
talk to you, Adam.
And if people want to reach out to you and for any questions, LinkedIn is a good place.
Yes, LinkedIn is
Okay.
great.
Perfect. So
Uh,
I'll
yeah.
leave some links in the comment section on LinkedIn uh, for reference for future references. Thank you. Thank you for your time.